Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Just another video that I'm recording on the day of the losers bracket finals, Fnatic against G2, getting all of my thoughts and opinions out there. You know, I already recorded the video of my thoughts about G2 and the amazing story and the amazing run that they're on right now in the lower bracket. Again, this is before even seeing what happens in the finals. Whether G2 wins or loses, still an amazing run from them. Up until this point, they are on a 9-game winning streak, but obviously on the opposite side of that, you know, however good things have gone for G2, it's the exact opposite for Fnatic. This is an absolute disaster. You know, I really thought Fnatic was way more super of a super team than Vitality ever was. This is a team that was already pretty good last year, who made some improvements, maybe some side grades, some downgrades coming into 2021 or into 2022. But either way, this is a team that was supposed to be great, a team that was supposed to compete for titles, a team that was supposed to go do something internationally. And now they're bounced before the LEC finals, despite being one of the best teams in the LEC really the whole season. And now the future is kind of weird for them. So I don't know. We're going to be talking about that in this video today. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. That would be insane as well to help us run those numbers up a little bit. We have tons of awesome videos coming your guys' way in the near future. You don't want to miss out on any of that. But with that being said, let's get right into today's video. So, Fnatic, you know, this roster, like I said, one of the best bot lanes in the world. I really do think that, and I think a lot of other people think that as well in 2021. It sucks we did not get to see Upset and Hylissang at Worlds, but Hylissang is historically a very good player on the international stage, and Upset was looking like probably the best AD carry in the West in 2021, and together they were nasty. I mean, even Bean with Hylissang did very good at Worlds, so I can only imagine what Upset would have done, but still a big what if. Then they take Humanoid, perhaps the biggest and most important part of the back-to-back champion Mad Lions. You have one of the best up-and-coming players in Razork in the LEC, and then you have Wonder, who, you know, he's Wonder. Now, maybe he was a little bit of a downgrade from Adam, but maybe in some ways he's an upgrade, maybe a side grade, who knows? I mean, Wonder's still one of the best weak side players, you know, especially because Fnatic does play so much around their bot side that Wonder is really one of the best weak side players, definitely a better weak side player than Adam for this Fnatic roster. So they were supposed to have sky-high expectations, especially after already beating G2 3-1 earlier on in the playoffs. And I pulled up one of these tweets as well, you know, that I talked about before, where, hey, when Fnatic took down G2, there was all this stuff going on where Wonder's talking about, man, G2 looking weaker than 2021. Maybe it's just stage nerves from their new players, hashtag Wrecking Crew. And maybe it was. Maybe it was stage nerves earlier in the playoffs. Or maybe it was, you know, those guys not having played many best of five, not having played in LEC playoff scenarios, whatever. But they got to go on this lower bracket run. They got to build confidence. They got to play more stage games. And then today, in front of a live studio audience, the younger players, the more inexperienced players, obviously they still had Caps and Jankos on their side, and Caps and Jankos absolutely balled out in this series and looked like vintage Caps and Jankos for probably the first time in, I don't know, 1 or 2 years at this point. But I thought this was very funny. I retweeted this tweet, you know, a little bit BM that I'm retweeting it, but I think it is funny. You know, I said it was a good tweet the first time, and I still think it's a funny tweet to bring up this time. But yes, this series was an absolute disaster for Fnatic. I mean, this bot lane that, you know, was supposed to be one of the best bot lanes in the world, was supposed to be the best bot lane in the LEC. Flocked came out a couple weeks ago and said, hey, I don't even think this Fnatic bot lane is better than Rogue's bot lane. And then, obviously, Fnatic loses to Rogue. And then in this series, Fnatic's bot lane didn't even perform better than G2's, which is made up of one rookie and one inexperienced player. I don't know. Obviously, everyone says Targamas isn't a rookie because he had played in the LEC before, but I still think most people would consider him, you know, kind of a rookie or pretty much a rookie or whatever. But, I mean, Targamas and Flocked absolutely held their own. Now, obviously, in some ways, Fnatic's scores are going to look worse since they got dominated in all these games, but it's not like Upset and Hylissang were a threat. It's not like they were, you know, getting 2v2 kills all over the place. This game, Hylissang goes 0-5, Upset goes 1-2, Flocked goes 6-2, Targamas goes 3-1-14. In game 2, we have Upset going 1-2, Hylissang going 0-7-5, and then Flocked going 7-0 with Targamas 1-1-9. And then in game 3, I thought this was really sus from Hylissang going 0-8-10. He had a couple really weird plays, you know, where he just kind of got exploded in fights, and that's that's Hylissang. You're going to live by the hilly and die by the hilly. But yeah, this was really, really rough. And it was just funny because Fnatic fans, they were coming out when VTO won MVP, and they're like, oh, VTO, that's the fake MVP. You guys saw how he did in the playoffs. I can't believe you'd give the MVP award to a guy like VTO. Hilly's obviously better. VTO sucked, whatever. And then Hilly comes out and has a very, very rough 3-game series against, obviously, that same team that knocked Misfits out. Yes, VTO looked rough against G2, but man, Hylissang looked rough against G2 as well. So I thought that was at least a little bit funny. Stay humble and yeah, stay classy, Fnatic fans, I guess. But I mean, this was just not good. This was supposed to be one of the strongest parts of the Fnatic team, but it's not like Fnatic got much else going either. I really hated Fnatic's drafts, especially surrounding the mid lane. This Twisted Fate pick. This was what a lot of people said lost the series for them against Rogue. They started pulling out Twisted Fate and they started losing all over the place. Now, historically, Humanoid very, very good at Twisted Fate, and his Twisted Fate is a very, very good champion in professional play, but it didn't work last week, so I don't know why Fnatic was trying so hard to make it work again this week. Now, obviously, they banned the Sylas, which was a nice adaptation, and I thought, hey, maybe this will work. Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but it looked really, really rough again. Not just the Twisted Fate, but how they're playing with the Twisted Fate and around the Twisted Fate. The Twisted Fate didn't get anything done, but it's not like the side lane set up much for him anyway. I don't know. Just it didn't look great. So then already I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Maybe Fnatic was really trying to make it work, but hey, whatever. Game 2, we'll get back to something normal. They tried to make it work. They couldn't figure it out still. Whatever. Game 2, even weirder. Obviously, I know a lot of people are very, very skeptical about Kai'Sa mid and how good it is. If I'm down 0-1 in a series, I'm picking something a little safer, a little bit easy. Not safer, because you don't want to play safe, but something more consistent, because if I'm Fnatic, I think my team is just straight up better than G2. I think we should beat them without having to do anything crazy. So I don't know why we're pulling out Kai'Sa mid here. Now, obviously, on this day, maybe the Fnatic team just wasn't better than G2 anyway, but, G2 playing Ahri the first 2 games, I love that much more of a pick than the Twisted Fate or the Kai'Sa that Fnatic tried to pull off in the first 2 games, and it looked really, really rough. Now, again, I'm not saying this is Humanoid's fault. I'm saying drafts, not so great. Play, not so great either. I'm not saying this was just a draft diff. I'm saying the drafts maybe didn't help, but man, nobody on Fnatic really showed up that much today anyway. So then, Fnatic's already down 0-2 in 2 drafts that I just think were really, really dog shit. And I think a lot of people thought that as well. And then finally we get to game 3 where we see a little bit more normal. We see a victor for Humanoid, upset on Aphelios. We see Hecarim. We see Wonder on GP. And this game was by far the closest of the series. Fnatic absolutely had chances to win this, but G2 did show up, and G2 played very, very well today. Capped 6-3-10 on the Sylas. Broken Blade, not so great of a game here, 5-5-10 on the Narc, kind of dying a lot, but Flock had another great game. Yankoth really popping off with a 9-kill Volibear game. And like I said, crazy for Fnatic to, again, yes, Vitality was, for whatever reason, Vitality was being heralded as the super team, but I really thought this whole split that Fnatic was the super team, that they were going to be the ones going to MSI, that they were going to be the ones not only competing for titles, but winning titles and being the international threat. I thought they just had so many pieces. I didn't really expect G2 to ramp up this fast and be able to beat them already in the spring. But also, I think this is G2 showing up and playing well, but I also think it was a case of Fnatic, showing up, not playing well, not having a good game plan, not having good drafts, but also just playing much, much worse on the Rift. And I just think it's kind of weird and kind of interesting how every year, Fnatic, despite all the different players they have coming in and out, like obviously they replaced Adam, they replaced Niski, they replaced Blippo, kind of ran some of those guys off. Very, very talented players, very, very good players, and now their team's looking worse. And G2 ran off a bunch of players, now their team's looking better. It just seems like Fnatic's management and leadership and stuff, they're always making kind of weird decisions. Their team always has these big implosions. They don't have good mental, they don't have good leadership. It just seems like every year is a disaster for Fnatic, and don't be surprised if some crazy drama happens or Fnatic management does something weird after this. Obviously, I think there's like a 99% chance they're just going to run back to the same roster, but what's this team going to do in the summer now? Are they going to be better? Are they going to be back? Are they going to compete for titles? Are they even going to go to Worlds? Because, yeah, they just finished 3rd in spring, and hey, that's good enough to go to Worlds, but maybe Mad Lions make some moves. Maybe Mad Lions a threat in the summer. If G2 and Rogue are still good, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Vitality figures something out. Misfits is still going to be good. Like, there is good teams in Europe this year. It is not going to be free. It is not going to be easy. And Fnatic is just boomed. I mean, they lost 5 games in a row. They're 2-0 in the winners bracket finals, a game away from the finals, a game away from, being able to at least compete for a chance to go to MSI. losing 5 games in a row, that's going to be tough to handle. That's going to be tough on the mental. And this is going to be a long offseason for Fnatic now, where they're just going to have to sit around and think, what if? Obviously, we do have a couple statements from some of the players. We had Hilla saying I didn't play well and I wasn't good enough to make the difference today, and for that I'm sorry. We'll learn from losses and come back stronger. Thanks for all the support. Hopefully they're able to do that. And then we also had Razork just saying, sorry, I'm bad. Which, is kind of interesting. Razork's a player who's gotten a lot of flack throughout this whole season. Jungle's a very, very important position in competitive League of Legends, and they need Razork to be better. He showed some glimpses of how great he can be throughout the spring split, but overall, to be a top team, to be a team that's winning LEC titles and going on to MSI and Worlds and not just showing up, but beating teams there, your jungle has to be better than what Razork was throughout a majority of the spring split. So it'll be interesting to see if Fnatic actually does learn from this, if they do grow from this, or if this is the start of, kind of the degradation of 2022 Fnatic. We don't know, but we're going to find out in summer, but we will have to wait a couple of months. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Fnatic, for now, they are finished. So definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Do you think Fnatic's finished? Do you think they're going to bounce back strong in summer, or are you worried about them? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.